Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about.
I cover a lot of lol cows on this channel. From people like Jason Genova to Chris Shan and King Cobra, I've seen them all. But one of these people whose existence seems to revolve specifically around people on the internet laughing at their misery I have not covered yet is Mr. Jordie Jordan, better known as Wings of Redemption. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're already aware of who the guy is, but for those of you who are not, let me give you a very quick rundown on the guy. Born April 21st, 1986, Wings of Redemption was one of the first and definitely one of the most infamous Call of Duty YouTubers. When he started doing YouTube, his videos were admittedly very boring, but overall Jordie seemed like a likable guy and would frequently interact with his viewers in a very positive way and say that his comments were having a positive impact on him as he was going through a hard time in his life. Jordie quickly ran into trouble, however, when he defended camping, the act of staying in one place in the game and picking off the opponents that come close to you one by one, something that is viewed in the first-person shooter community and definitely the COD community as requiring no skill. Jordie defended his use of this tactic, saying that he uses the tactic to win, but instead of doing the Chad move of doubling down on any criticism by just playfully trolling with people who criticised his camping, Jordie was genuinely very insecure when called out about this method of play. Please remember that going forward in this video, Wings of Redemption has a lot of insecurities, because a lot of the problems at play with Wings of Redemption, as you'll see in this video, really just revolve around how insecure and self-hating the man is. Anyone who plays a video game with the sole intention of winning because your life is so full of L's you resort to getting the easiest possible W's in a video game is just a self-hating fucking monster I couldn't imagine existing as. Time went on and a big theme on Jordie's channel was revealing way too much about his personal life to his viewers, like the fact that he was unemployed, no surprises there, and couldn't get an Xbox, and that he grew up around black kids so he was allowed to use African American vernacular, which is interesting because Jordie has stated some very questionable beliefs about black folks we'll get into in a while. Wings' channel grew and he started making cash off YouTube, especially after starting a podcast called Painkiller Already, now known as PKA, which is still going to this day, without Wings though, I wonder why. And as his money went up, his ego inflated, and people quickly began to notice how insufferable Wings was getting now that he was the little redneck NEET that could. However, Wings' Call of Duty empire would all come crumbling down when on an episode of his podcast PKA, he challenged another COD YouTuber going by the name of Syndicate to a 1v1 game of COD Zombies. The winner was whoever had more kills at the 10-minute mark, or whoever gets 30 kills first. Keep in mind, this game was hosted on an American server, and this Syndicate guy was an English guy, based in the UK, playing on this American server. So what happened? Wings lost, and not just lost, he fucking Brendan Schaub versus Travis Brown lost. He got fucking destroyed, and had a huge bitch fit about it when he did. Wings ended up breaking his controller and screaming, "Why the fuck did you stream that?" It was his downfall. He was writing names in his Monster Energy sticker covered Hillbilly Death Note for time now, but it was his turn to be written in. He was never a COD god, he was always just a hick, neat gamer who just got lucky riding the YouTube gaming wave back in the day. He definitely didn't make things any better for himself by never accepting the fact he lost fair and square. He couldn't lose graciously. At this point he was the fat, white Deontay Wilder of the COD community. A sore loser through and through. Wings' confidence was knocked after this massive public L, and he ended up putting on 100 pounds from comfort eating, which is very sad because nobody should let Call of Duty have that much of a detrimental effect on his mental health. But luckily, one of his buddies, Kyle, from the PKA Podcast, was going to help him lose this weight after Wings moved in with him. Something that would never come to fruition because of Wings' refusal to cooperate with his new health regime because of this bitterness and self-hatred Wings was feeling inside for himself, no doubt. Eventually, this led to Wings being kicked off of his own podcast by his co-hosts because of his refusal to help himself and continuing to spiral downwards and do absolutely nothing to stop it. Wings made it very clear that he wanted to step away from YouTube at this point and had absolutely no passion in continuing, but he refused to step away because now, apparently, he was a quote-unquote somebody for the first time in his life, and this was the highlight of his life, which is actually just quite sad. Wings' channel was absolutely fucking dead at this point, and continued to die as time went on, even more so. So he moved on over to Twitch to become a live streamer because he'd, quote, make more money this way. And that is a huge thing with Wings of Redemption. The few pennies he makes off pity donations justify the relentless harassment he puts up with on Twitch day in, day out for him. He's not making any, like, real money. Not really. He's making, like, spare change. He'd make more just working a normal job. But it's worth it to him just because it's money from sitting there getting shit on. It's really, really sad, like. What harassment am I talking about, you may be asking? Well, let's get into that. Let's start with Richard. Richard is a name that Wings trolls refer to him as because one of them discovered a person named Richard once lived at his address. Instead of doing the normal thing of saying, my name is not Richard, once, and when people continue to call him Richard, ignore it, or just completely ignore it in the first place, Wings made this a huge issue by consistently getting upset when he's referred to as Richard. He asked his Twitch mods to ban anyone who refers to him as Richard, and just got generally really pressed about the whole situation, as minuscule as this is. Wings can be a total fucking man baby. And I think one of the reasons he's so fun to troll is because of his refusal to take any banter whatsoever. He takes himself so seriously as this king of the COD neats that anything that might make him look slightly silly just cuts through him so hard. Another example of these consistent troll methods that they get Wings with is people shouting out an individual named Sean Ranklin on his streams. Sean Ranklin is a YouTube channel who uploads highlight videos of Wings getting trolled and has become Wings' mortal enemy because of this. Wings could easily make a lot of these problems go away by just looking in the mirror and saying, wow, I've been being a goofball on the internet for nearly 15 years now and I should stop. But once again, he's so stubborn and so lacking in any form of self-awareness that these thoughts would never register with him, and he continues to be absolutely seething at things that are not big deals at all, and continues to make Mount Everests out of molehills. At this point, you might be thinking, is the only reason Wings of Redemption getting all this negative attention because of his refusal to partake in any form of self-improvement, and the fact he seems pretty content in being a self-hating, miserable, neat streamer man-baby? No, it's not. It's not the only reason people troll the shit out of Wings of Redemption. Wings has said some pretty heinous, crazy shit over the years. Wings is a self-admitted racist and has streamed himself saying stupid, racist shit on more than one occasion, like saying if you're going to fuck a N-word, you should marry a 8-foot tall one worth $1 billion, like a basketball player, which I'm pretty sure is also exactly what Hulk Hogan said when his daughter was dating a black guy. Wings has also stated that he once had a dog he named the N-word. Alright, H.P. Lovecraft over here. He also said he started to hate black people more and more when he worked as a delivery driver because they wouldn't tip him. Wings, I wouldn't fucking tip you either. And listen, I understand we've all said stupid, regrettable shit in our past out of ignorance, and people should be allowed to grow and better themselves because growth and improvement are beautiful things, but Wings has made absolutely no effort to improve himself at all for the last 15 fucking years, spiritually, mentally, and definitely not physically. Wings has also garnered a reputation for saying stuff that's a bit questionable about the age of consent, and saying if a 45-year-old was to have sex with a 16-year-old, he'd let it slide, because a 16-year-old can, quote, make their own decisions. Listen, he really isn't doing anything good for the PR of Americans from the southern states with that one, is he? He also said he considers CP a slippery slope, because once the person is over 12, it should not be considered CP, which is also just rotten. I have a clip for this, but the original video that I found this in has been removed, probably from Wings. I don't understand why he wouldn't want that on the internet. So this clip is taken from one of Papa Gut's live streams. So if Papa Gut ends up seeing this, thank you.
Pedophile-ish. What did I do, pedophile?
Yeah, child porn. Child pornography is such a loosely based thing. But even 16 at 45, I'd let that slide because a 16-year-old can make her own damn decisions. I'd cut child pornography off around 12.
Wow. Thanks, Wings. Very cool. Now, do I believe Wings believes this shit he said about the age of consent and all that? No, I don't. I think Wings is an edgy COD YouTuber being edgy, but got roped into some stupid shit that has permanently fucked up his life. Which brings me to the main point I want to make in this video, and that's why I named the video Wings of Redemption Needs Help. Wings of Redemption has had a rough life, and I don't say that as an excuse for his horrible behaviour, because there is none. But Jordie, from the outside looking in, has had people abandon him quite a lot in his life, and has been wallowing in his own self-hatred and self-pity for years now, which cannot be a fun and enjoyable way to live. He said some edgy shit, but yeah, he was a redneck COD YouTuber from the late 2000s. He was hardly ever going to be as socially conscious as a Mos Def album, given the Mountain Dew stained cards he was dealt in life. And it's not like Jordie is completely without brains. He's relatively, normal, kinda. He's a functioning person, behind the edginess and lack of maturity. He's not Christian in the sense that he was wholeheartedly fucked from the very start. Jordie wasn't born this way, he was made this way. What I see it as is Jordie has done so much harm to himself in the past, it started to snowball to the point where the burdens he carries around with him have gotten too heavy for him, and he can't take it anymore. And I think it's time for someone, I don't know who, but someone to step in and give Wings the help he deserves to redeem himself and get him flying again. Do you get it? Redeem, redemption, wings, flying. Listen. Subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Wings, get help, fam.